Hey, we're live, apparently. Hey, I'm Aaron Lopresti. Welcome to Aaron Live, the show on the internet with no commercials. Probably all the shows on the internet don't have any commercials, but this is similar to Aaron Con, except it's different in name only because the content's pretty much the same. Today, I'm going to draw in 3 sketchbooks. I had a request from someone that wanted their sketch done live on a live stream. So I saved it for this. I've got 3 of them waiting, and we're going to do all 3 of them live. I do have a couple things I want to show you, though. In case you're wondering what sketchbook is he talking about, why, I'd be talking about this sketchbook. I'm sure that I got the wrong banner up. It says Aaron Con 2, but it isn't Aaron Con 2. Anyway, this sketchbook is a hardcover, 20-year anniversary sketchbook by me, of course. Has a spine with writing on it, so you know it's real. Art on the back cover. You can see this. I haven't pumped this up before, so I think I will this time if I can figure out which hand I'm pointing with. There it is. Right there, my little logo. That's Cold Crocodile Press. That is, see that? That's my little printing company, my little publishing company that I publish my own work through. Cold Crocodile Press, so there it is. Aaron Con 2, that is just outrageous. That's not what that's supposed to say, but I don't have time to change it, the banner, so I don't really care. But anyway, we're going to be sketching in these. These are available right now for they're $45, and apparently my banner says it's free shipping this weekend only, which isn't true, but since it's on the banner, I'm going to honor it. Gosh darn it. So if you want to get one of these with a sketch in it, $45 free shipping if you get it this weekend. I have to change my banners apparently, right, if I'm ever going to have you guys pay for shipping again. Pat Scott's here, and he's just like pumping me up. I think he's the only buddy here, the only person here. Why, here's the question. Why are my banners, I don't know why this title says what it says. It's not supposed to say that. It's supposed to say Aaron Live. Yeah. All right. I do want to show you something, though, before I get started drawing. I'm going to move the camera down from my messy studio. Look at all that garbage. It's pathetic. Someone needs to clean this. We're going to zoom in here a little bit, past my water. Get in as close as we can to this board because it's so incredibly visually interesting. Okay, I did show this on social media probably a couple months ago now. There we go. This is a print, or the original artwork for a Captain America print I'm doing. If you remember the Gotham Gallery print I did that had Batman and a bunch of his villains, this is similar in that it has Captain America and a bunch of his villains. I had to turn that stupid autofocus off. Sorry about that. Let's take a closer look here at the whole thing. So you've got Captain America, obviously MODOK's back there, the classic old Baron Zemo, the Yellow Claw, Madam Hydra, the Red Skull, and then Nightshade down there, all in their original costumes, of course, because I'm, if I'm not classic, I'm nothing. So anyway, this is almost completely colored, and at some point in the not too distant future will be available for purchase. But I just wanted you to see that black and white, kind of preview that just a little bit. Well, so now let's get cracking and start drawing. That again is my sketchbook. Oh, there we go. Mr. Ramirez is here. He says, hi, Aaron. He's excited. Your drawing is going to be last, so you have to stick around a little bit. This won't be a lengthy video because these generally don't take me as nearly as long as obviously a marker commission would. But we're going to start with Jason Dunbar wants a Spider Woman, classic, of course. So we're going to start with that. That's going to be book number 122, Spider Woman. Let's get this thing cracked. Oh, I love it when that cracks when I open it because I know it hasn't been opened before. And I can smell that new paper printing smell. Nothing like it. Okay, so let me zoom in here. That's as tight as we can get. I'm going to move this camera again, so forgive the earthquake effects. Yeah, there we go. I wonder if I can change that banner in the middle of I don't think I can without screwing up the feed. So what are you going to do? You know, there's always something. Guess audio, camera, general. No, I'm sorry. I'm going over the the system preferences here, and I changed the name of the thing. That shouldn't say that. I don't know why it says that, but like I said, does it really matter? Is there that much difference between an Aaron Con and a Aaron Live event? Probably not. All right. I know, against better judgment, I'm going to go in here with a blue pencil, which you guys aren't going to be able to see anyway, probably, right? What if I mess with the contrast a little bit here? Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit if I do. I got a little late start, so I didn't prep like I should have for this. Not that, I don't want to give you the wrong impression that I actually prep for these things, but I do sort of take into consideration what I might actually do on the show. And this one, I just kind of running around. As the old saying goes, like a chicken with its head cut off, which if you don't understand what that means, it's well, I guess in the old days when, you lived on the farm, you'd butcher a chicken, they'd cut its head off, and it was still had nerve endings in the legs or whatever, and it would run around even after you cut its head off for a few minutes before it plopped over. Very gruesome image, I guess, right? But they tell me that's the way it used to be. I don't know. I feel bad when I kill a fish when I go fishing, so which I haven't done in quite some time. So anyway, we're doing all, isn't it Jessica Drew? I think it's Jessica Drew is the original Spider Woman. She's got something on the forehead of her mask, and now I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm going to have to look. Anybody that's waiting on like original pages or artwork that they bought from me over the course of the last week from when I actually did do Aaron Con 2, which this is not Aaron Con 2, even though the title says that it is. That stuff is, the remainder of that stuff is all going out tomorrow. So I should be completely caught up on shipping stuff out. But then when people order new books, I get behind again. But that's life. Anyway, there's my contact information scrolling along the bottom of the screen there. So again, my email, my web address, and also my PayPal address if you wanted to get a book or whatever. That's how to get in contact with me to do that. All right, I have to go search out a real quick Spider Woman reference because I'm not sure what the heck her is on her forehead. I know there's something there. Nothing like hunting and pecking on a live feed. All right, let me see what happens here. Yeah, it's just like a triangle. Well, I had a diamond up there, so it's kind of close. It's a triangle shape. I'm not sure what the significance of that is, but I'd have to go into my Marvel Spotlight number 32, if memory serves, which is her first appearance, to check that information out. Or maybe Spider-Woman number 1, which I think was about 1978, where she actually wears this costume for the first time with her hair out. And maybe that would explain why she has that triangle on her forehead. Because quite frankly, I don't know. I got a big splash page I'm working on in Justice League right now. It's sitting over there on the table, which I'm taking a break from to do this. Because quite frankly, in this day and age, with what's going on, there's nothing more important than live, free entertainment. Although you could question whether or not this would be considered actual entertainment or not. Okay, I think I got this right. So there's our penciling. Rough that sucker in. Now we're going to ink it up again with a Le Pen. I'm using these Le Pens because they're the freshest pens I've got. My microns, some of them have kind of dried up on me. So sorry, the bill of my hat got in the way there. So I'm going to outline our good friend Jessica with an 8. I'm not going to worry about being too tight with my line work, simply because, again, we're talking about a sketch here, folks. So I want to maintain a little bit of that sketchiness. Let's see. How many issues are you drawing of Justice League? I did 41 and 42. I'm doing 48, 49, and 50, and 50 is a double-sized issue. And then beyond that, I don't know, because I don't think anybody knows what's going on publishing-wise. In the short term, certainly not in the long term. So I'm hopeful that I will remain employed, and it'd be nice if I could keep drawing Justice League. But no one knows exactly what's going on and what this publishing schedule is going to look like. Now, I know that they just announced the opening schedule or opening of the country phases today, and according to the map, California was in pretty good shape, but that doesn't mean that Newsom's going to open up I'm not in California, by the way, but DC is. And so it's hard to say when everybody's going to get back to at least a normal publishing schedule. When printers are going to be allowed to go back in and start printing, and distribution centers are going to start distributing. Jessica's classic costume is one of the best ever. Any change they've tried to make to her has been terrible. I agree. I do kind of like her classic. Warren Montgomery says, "What's up, double A?" I guess that's a Aaron joke. But I am doing well, Warren. I hope you're doing well. Warren's here in the Portland area along with me, so it's a really nice day out. And here I am inside drawing. I should get out for a walk or something. I ate like 4 brownies in the last 12 hours, so I probably need to get out and actually do something that resembles exercise. Okay. Now, Warren did suggest today, I think it was today, that I should just pick a time and do this like the weekly show. And I think he's probably right. I've got some interesting things I'm going to be working on that I could work on a little bit and preview a little bit weekly on a show if I did a regular show, and maybe that might be a good idea to do that. I'm kind of torn between going live on Facebook because I get 10 times as many views on Facebook as I do on YouTube, although I know that some of you out there are not on Facebook. So I'm kind of torn on what to do. Although the shows that I do on Facebook, I can download. Well, Warren Montgomery's been downloading them for me because he actually knows how to do it, and then post them on YouTube later. So you wouldn't be able to necessarily see them live on YouTube, but they would end up on YouTube, within 24 hours. So. There's no easy answer for anything, is there? I'll go to a smaller pen here for a minute and do a little line work. Quality over quantity. That's, you know what, Roscoe, you're absolutely right. Although I don't know what that's referring to now, because I can't remember what I said. There has to be a way to stream on both Facebook. There is, but it costs me money, and I'm too cheap to pay money. Although I might, because this program I'm using to do this, StreamYard, if you get a paid subscription, you can actually bring in guests and things like that, which might be kind of cool, because I know a lot of very cool people. If I could talk them into actually coming on, that would be kind of fun to, talk to, and I think they would be stuff that you guys would be interested in hearing from, other than just me rambling all the time. So yeah, maybe that's the way to go. Maybe I'll check into it and actually pay the fee, whatever it is. Hopefully it's not too ridiculous. All right, so I got to do a little bit on her hair here. You could always post a link to the YouTube vids on Facebook afterwards. Yes. That's true, I could. People like to be part of the live event, though. So if I do it on one platform, I'm excluding other people. So I guess I am. If I'm going to be serious about this, and I'm not necessarily saying that I am serious about it, but if I were to be serious about it, I should probably pay the money and get an actual program that allows me to live stream on more than one platform at a time. This is the wave of the future, right? And the future is now. So again, in case I know I've said this prior, but the reason I don't just take a big old black Copic marker and go in there and make her hair black is because that much saturation on this paper bleeds through. And even though, there's nothing here in the end papers except some, color design on there, it looks kind of crappy to open your book and have black bleed through on here. So I don't do that. Someone got that because I didn't realize it would do that until I actually did it once, and I went, yep, not doing that anymore. So now I sort of have to crosshatch the blacks and rather than just do a solid black. Oops, sorry. And my crosshatch technique I use on this, yeah, she could, Warren, if I could get her to do it. I use the same crosshatch technique here that I would do if I was doing a comic or something, just a lot faster. But basically, you just run your two lines across from each other, and it still doesn't look that great. So what you have to do is then you run your third line in a different direction, and where you want it darkest, you put your lines closest together, and if you want it to kind of fade out, you make your lines farther apart as you go. And then it's just a matter of repeating that over and over again at different angles. That's why I keep turning the book here, so I can get some different angles on my crosshatch. And so I start down here really close together so it gets dark, and then as I go, I space those out. So you still have your crosshatch effects, but you're getting sort of a fade from, you know, something really dark to lighter to gray. And it's really that simple. The key is to do enough of it so that you actually get kind of a fade effect in a blend, as opposed to, you know, just doing two sets of lines and it just doesn't look as good, in my humble opinion. And I'm not necessarily a big fan of perfectly ruled cross-hatching. I don't think it necessarily needs, every line needs to be perfectly spaced or whatever. But I do think you have to do it enough that you can get the blend you want. Because I think the blending is important. I don't think the tightness, if you will, or the controlled line is as important. But again, it depends on the effect you want to get too, right? Oh, Mr. Ramirez, there has to be a, okay. When I get to your Wolverine, did you want mask or no mask on Wolverine? Because that's sort of important. Wolverine is one of the few characters who really works with or without his mask on. So we got some black areas in there with the crosshatch. You know, I'm not going to do the entire, every bit of hair like this, but I think it's, when you indicate enough of it, you just sort of accept it as being, oops, sorry, accept it as being solid black, even though it really isn't, because there's enough indication of it that your eye sort of buys it, sort of fills in the rest for you. Yes, for the mask. Okay, good. I know there was kind of a trend for a while where Wolverine was just never had his mask on. And I think it's sort of gone back the other direction now, where people sort of like him with his mask. Of course, that might have been during the time when, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s, when the X-Men were in kind of like those black leather costumes, and they didn't really have their costumes on. There was kind of, everybody looked like they were in the Matrix. And I think maybe that was kind of a stylistic phase that we've all sort of grown out of, and now we're back to wanting costume. I mean, because what good's a superhero if he doesn't have a costume, right? He's just some dude or some woman, and it's like, you know, if you're doing a superhero costume, or pardon me, if you're doing a superhero comic, have a superhero look like a superhero. It's kind of the point, isn't it? So yeah, if you order one of these books with a character with black hair, you certainly get your time, or you get my time out of me onto the, I'm putting time into the project, that's for sure. When I get blondes, it's like I'm, I don't even have to do this. Okay, so now we'll do a little bit up here. And again, I lighten my touch as I go away so that I go from dark to light. And I'm getting sort of that crosshatch black area going to a gray area. I'm not exactly drawing in between the lines here. So if I was in grade school and this was a coloring assignment, I would get an F. But again, it's a sketch. Okay, there we go. This is what I like to call finished. As you can see, got some nice texture in there. Everything is opposite on this camera, so I move it one way and it doesn't go the way I want it to go. Anyway, you can see kind of the line work there and what's going on. And so there we go. That's our first one, Jessica Drew. She is done. We'll sign this thing because someone has to claim ownership of it, and that someone is me. All right, so that's number Jason Dunbar. That's number 122. Excuse my reach. So we get in here underneath Conan and write number 122 under there. Ta-da. Okay. So then we'll set that over here. Get the next book, which I did plan ahead and put the books there anyway, so I didn't have to go too far. All right, so now I'm doing the Hulk. Okay, and here's something interesting. Well, it's interesting to me. Crack. I posted a headshot of the Hulk on my Twitter account, and I got 1.2 thousand likes on it. I have never got more than like 400 likes on anything I've ever put. And usually it's like, anywhere from 100 to 200 in the likes. But this got 1.2 thousand likes. I could not believe it. And I have no idea why. It was just a Hulk headshot. It was a good headshot, but I mean that's all it was. Mystery upon mystery. Okay. I'm going to do a high angle shot looking down at the Hulk, which I haven't done in one of these books yet. Thanks, Pat. Because I have done a few Hulks, and I don't want to do the exact same drawing in everybody's book. In case, what if they compare notes at some point? No one's asked for the thing yet. I love the thing. I would love to draw the thing. I'm also waiting for someone to request Frankenberry because I really want to draw that too. I may have to raise these eyebrows a hair. Raise eyebrows a hair. All right. Is the Hulk ever happy? I want to guess that, like in the 70s, at some point when they would do like the Mighty Marvel calendars and stuff, I think they probably had like, or the Hulk. Mike Miller trying to be funny. I want to say they had like shots of the Hulk like smiling and stuff, kind of like at Christmas time or whatever. I just can't imagine the Hulk ever like laughing. Although when he was the smarter Green Hulk, when Keown and Peter David were working on the book, there was one cover where he was like laughing on the cover. No, that's when he was gray, I think. So it's the old answer. I remember I probably told this story before, but when my son was very young, we were at a convention in Orlando when I was at CrossGen, and Walter Simonson was at the show, and he was talking to my son, and my son asked him who would win in a fight between Thor and Superman. And Walter said, well, that's a good question. He goes, it depends on who's writing the story. And isn't that the truth? So I guess if the Hulk smiles or not would depend on who's writing the story, wouldn't it? Well, in my world, the Hulk never smiles because he's always ready to crush somebody's head. Yeah. Mike Miller's claiming to always be funny. Sounds like my daughter now. She claims she's always funny, and I'm like, I have to tell her that you're occasionally funny. And of course she responds with, well, you're never funny. So, and then I have to remind her that I am a professional humorist. So, I've actually written a humor book. So that makes me officially more funny than her. She has not bought into that argument yet. So there we go. Angry Hulk. Warren, why would I ever draw like Sal Buscema or Herb Trimpe? I draw like me, man. If you mean like with shaggy long hair, 70s long hair, I don't like that look for the Hulk. I kind of like the shorter, hair like that. Now, back in the 70s, I probably drew the Hulk with long hair when I was a kid, but so now we approach the inking part of our sketch again with a 8.0 lip pen. Mark Brooks turned me onto these, and I've had good results with them. But like any pen, you use it to death and it dries out, and you got to move on to the next one. But boy, the improvement in these sort of the quality of these pens is just, from when I first started working in comics, or even when I was in commercial art, is just like so much better that you can actually, depending on the look you want, you can use these to ink comics, finished work with. I mean, I just use them for sketching right now, and I do, for backgrounds and things like that. Who is my favorite comedian? Me. I am the funniest guy I know. No, that's a good question. Who is my favorite comedian? Man. I'm gonna have to think about that because I don't. when I was a kid, we used to, and again, this was in the 70s, we used to have like comedy albums and stuff like that you'd buy for Richard Pryor or whoever, George Carlin. I think George Carlin's funny. Richard Pryor was funny too, but he was pretty nasty. So if we ever got caught listening to that, we'd probably be in trouble. I think Kevin Hart today is funny. Was a big Seinfeld fan back in the day. When David Letterman did stand-up, I always liked his stuff, and I thought Steve Martin's stand-up was really good too. But those aren't really what I would consider, obviously, contemporary comedians now. Obviously, my problem is I do not watch TV. Fly Fox Pro is in the house. Hola. Yeah, so I don't really watch a lot of TV anymore. And you can blame that on Lost. If Lost the ending hadn't sucked so bad to that show, I may be a totally different person right now. But I just really don't watch much TV. And as a result, I don't see a lot of stuff that people watch and are up on. It's a pretty good Hulk. If I do say so myself, right? Sort of a self-serving comment. Hey, that's pretty good. I drew it. But if it sucked, I would also say that too, which probably isn't the best promotional approach to take. And I don't know how guys, go to shows and they're just like total hucksters and, push it like used car salesmen and push their stuff. It's like so hard for me. It's kind of like, hey, if you like it, I hope you buy it. If you don't, that's okay. Instead of like, you really need to buy this. This is great. And no, I just can't do that. There's guys I know that like guilt people into buying. They just work them, and it's like, salesman, I am not, man. I could never make it as a salesman. This one will get at least 1.3 thousand likes. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, this whole head will, right? Let's see. Maybe I should post. I'll take a picture of it and post it on Twitter and see. I gotta make sure I don't drift off the camera here, out of the camera's sight range. I always do that and get into the drawing and start paying attention to what you're drawing and not. That's why I need a cameraman. Warren's right. Make my wife do it. But she'll distract me with all of her storytelling. We do have some decent con stories, that's for sure. In fact, let me share one. It may be hard to believe. Look at that. I've been mistaken for Adam Hughes more than once. And I did tell a longer story on one of my cons, so I won't repeat that story. But I'm always on guard when someone comes up to me at a con and just starts gushing, right? And they say, "Oh my gosh, you're like one of my favorite artists. You've been such an influence. Just what an honor to meet you." When they start talking like that, then I know that they think I'm somebody else immediately. And So that happened. This guy comes up to me. Now, you got to remember, at San Diego, I share a booth with Terry Dodson, right? Now, Terry has all of his banners on basically on his side of the booth, and I have all my banners right behind me on my side of the booth. So you'd think that all you have to do is look up and you'd see my name everywhere, right? So there shouldn't be any confusion. Now, Adam has the booth right next to me in San Diego. So, and he has banners up all over the place that say Adam Hughes, right? So it's like, it really shouldn't be that difficult to tell us apart. So anyway, I'm sitting there drawing, and this guy comes up to me and he starts going, just talking about how wonderful I am and just what a brilliant artist, and he's just so honored to meet me, and he just can't believe it, and blah 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 blah, right? And I'm sitting there taking all this in, going, I'm not sitting there going, well, thank you, that's very kind, because I immediately knew something was up. And so it dawned on me. I said, I looked at him and I said, I'm not Adam Hughes. And he could just see the color like drain out of his face. He's like, I said, Adam is actually right there. And I pointed over next to me, because Adam was sitting there sketching with a long line of people, right? You would have thought, I mean, how hard would this be to figure that out? So he was like totally embarrassed. And then he said what everybody always says. They go, oh, but I love your stuff too. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know who I am. Just get out of here. So, but that has happened to me more than once. And it always happens with Terry, because we're in the same booth, right? And Terry spends as little time at the booth as he can manage. I'm always there because I'm a workaholic. And so, people always come up, and instead of just, and I accept the fact that they'll make that mistake because we share a booth, right? But I would, I know Pat says, Adam Hughes, you don't look anything like him. I know. Thank you, Andrew J. So, people will come up and they'll wonder if I'm Terry or not. But instead of doing the simple thing, which would be, especially if there's two people at the booth, or there's two different banners up, and there's only one guy sitting there, and you don't know, you never met either one of us, it's totally okay to go, excuse me, are you Aaron or Terry? And I would say, well, I'm Aaron, and that's totally acceptable, right? Because how would they know? But when you just have people come up to you and start handing me Terry's books to sign, and without even, and start telling me how much they love my work on X-Men or whatever, and you're like, dude, I'm not Terry. Oh, it's like, yeah, Aaron is here too. There's two of us here. At least just ask, but they don't. They always assume I'm Terry. And I don't think anybody's ever gone up to Terry and assumed he was me. Or I don't think anybody's ever gone up to Adam and go, oh, Mr. Lopresti, I love your stuff. So that tells me something. And it's not very good what it tells me. That is one angry Hulk. And that's the way he should be. It's like the Thing is just about ready to get punched by this Hulk, I think. I think that's actually pretty good. I'm just I'll do a little bit of more line work down here. Kind of indicate maybe. I did this on Planet Hulk, and I've never done it on Hulk before, but kind of gave him this sort of unshaven look, a little beard stubble. I wonder if, like, Hulk shaving is as hard as, like, Superman shaving, I don't know if that's ever been addressed. Okay, I know I need a hat that just might. If I had a hat and a T-shirt that said I'm Aaron Lopresti, people would still do it. I guarantee you. All right, so there's Hulk. The shorter-haired Hulk. Flyfox Pro says, I'd be bringing JLI for you to sign, and you go right to Adam Hughes' booth, right, and go, Aaron, I love your stuff on Justice League. Could you sign this? I should, thank you, trusty sidekick. I should actually put somebody up to that to kind of get even with Adam and have him go up there and act like they think Adam is me. That'd actually be kind of funny. All right, what number am I on? Okay, this is for, that was for James Elam. It's 123. So, anybody that hasn't looked inside this book yet, let's just do a quick little preview. Look at that. I got dark crystal. These things aren't that dark. They just appear dark because I adjusted the contrast so you can see the drawings. There's some Deja Thoris, Red Sonja stuff. Nice big full page shot of a girl in flowing garment. Monkeys, Bigfoot. There's some Wonder Woman stuff. Look at that. Jungle Book. Who knew I did that stuff? Look at that. It's full of Jungle Book stuff. There's a new piece, kind of a Mr. Hyde, Jack the Ripper kind of thing going on there. And that little swamp creature head right there, I did that specifically for this book. Yeah. Look at that. There's color in there. There's black and white. It's quite a variety of fun stuff in here. Kane from the House of Mystery. Look at that. So anyway, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So I highly recommend this book. And if you want to get a copy with a sketch in it, all you have to do is email me or Facebook message me or Twitter message me or Instagram message me, or I think that's it. If I will say if people got this sketchbook, they'd have a new favorite artist. See, that's what I need. I need to hire people to pump me up because I don't do it myself. He shaves before he transforms, and then he doesn't write. Then he doesn't have to shave when he's Hulk. Of course. Cracking open the book. Okay, this is for Mr. Ramirez. He wants Wolverine. He's going to get Wolverine. Okay. He's going to get Wolverine smoking because I don't care. The guy smokes cigars, and I don't care what and the political correctness about that is, or whatever. That Marvel characters can't smoke anymore. Come on. And I mean, not that they should be walking around with cigs or anything, but it's like, come on. Wolverine smokes because his lungs heal. So what does he care? And then Howard the Duck smokes because he's a duck. So what does he care? I'm telling you, man. All right, let's see what happens here. So is that brown and gold costume even exist anymore, or do you go back to blue and yellow all the time? Does anybody know? Not that I'm doing color here, but just kind of curious. I don't like that. I think this needs to come out a little bit more. What about Penguin? Does he smoke anymore, or does he vape with? That's a good question. Did he ever smoke though, or did he just carry that around for looks? I mean, I assume he smoked, but I never actually saw. Well, let's see, on the television show, and when Burgess Meredith was the Penguin, I think it was like the thing was lit. It was smoking. So you guys like frustrated that you can't get your comic book fixes in, or is there stuff online that you guys are reading that sort of is helping you get through this time of lack of material out there? How can you get a sketchbook cult film video? You can, let me switch banners. There you go. You can email me at aaron@aaronlopresti.com. You can go through my website and email me, or you can just PayPal me $45, and then put in the notes what it's for, so I don't just say $45, show up my PayPal account and have no idea why you're sending me money. And let me know what you want in the sketchbook. If you want, a drawing in it, and I will do it for you and get it done and out to you fairly quickly. And that's really all there is to it. All right, I'm going to do a lot of work on the ink on this. If I can find, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. I've just been busy practicing how to draw. I haven't made time to read any comics. That sounds like me. I still buy old comic books, although the thing is I've read most of them when I was younger. I'm such just an out of control collector that especially if I'm stuck at home. I mean, I usually stuck at home anyway because I'm working, but since I know that I'm stuck at home and I can't leave, even if I wanted to, well, okay, that's not true. I can leave, but where are you going to go, right? So it makes me very.
Is it Aaron live?
And Shelly shows up. Someone said that they thought you were hilarious on here. Was it Pat Scott last time you were on?
Who?
Pat Scott.
Oh, thanks, Pat.
Said she was funny on the last time you showed up.
I'm funny looking.
And now you're back with more jokes.
But well, I used to be somewhat normal.
Till you met me.
And I was going to say, till I met this dude.
You had to adapt.
And then I taught high school. And that ended the whole normalcy thing.
Well, you were teaching when I met you.
That's true. Barely. It was my first full-time teaching gig. So you knew you should have left then. I was never going to make money.
Well, I figured I'd be rich, so
I know our joke is one of us should have married better. I won't say which one, but Oh.
Well, the beauty of it is, though, you've actually got to go to Paris twice as a result of my job. So.
Oui, c'est très bien.
Oops, sorry, I'm going to keep this on the page.
Oh, you got a royalty check. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I got this check from Disney, and I was like, "What the heck are they sending me?"
That's what I was doing.
It's like, is this? I thought at first it was like a not a rebate, but like a, hey, come on a Disney cruise, and here's $100,
right.
check that if you.
That was fun. So any of you that have kids, the Disney cruise was so much fun.
Yeah, and everybody got sick except me.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sammy, we didn't know she had an ear infection, so she burst her eardrum flying in when we were landing in Florida. That wasn't the fun part.
She
And
was
then
sick.
the
That whole
cruise
trip.
was super fun. Pirate night and all that.
Arr.
Arr. And then, oh yeah, Sammy and I got the norovirus. That wasn't very much fun.
Yeah.
Although I felt really skinny when it was done. I could go for a good case of norovirus about right now. And that's my contribution for today.
Well, you've got to give us some visual, stuff before you leave to
Me?
lighten everybody's day. Well, you just did with your.
Oh, visual, like,
Yeah,
they don't
give
want
me-
to visualize
Well, you can't help
the
it. When
norovirus.
when you say you lost a lot of weight, I think you probably figured out
Oh, yeah. I want
what
to
you might be
know
referring to.
how many people that are on right now are actually fully getting dressed every day. That's what I want to know. Because I'm not sure I'll ever be able to wear normal clothes again. I'm just living in my PJs.
Stephen Ing says, I'm catching up my reading stack.
I saw that.
Yeah, but what are you reading, Stephen?
Exactly. And I need a movie. I want to watch a movie. I like action ones. Anything with Denzel Washington.
Doesn't even have to be good.
Nope. Because he's good to look at. He's delish. Who else do I like? Like all the John Wicks. Well, the last one, I just wanted to brush his hair for him. It was not a good look. Need a movie. Godzilla.
Yeah,
Is that the new one? 2000? Like, that's the new one. That's still new for me, apparently. Yeah, I'm not a big movie person. I have a really bad neck, and so sitting in the theater.
Yeah, well, she's not
not
going to watch like movies that comic book dudes would be watching normally. So
You never know.
I know.
You're probably right.
She needs a good romantic comedy.
Well, I was just watching the 3rd season of Westworld. Barfarama. That went way over it. No, I don't like scary ones. No scary. Yeah. Like when I read, I only read like murder mysteries, that kind of stuff.
Thrillers, but not horror.
Yeah, no, I read I think it was Dean Koontz, Intensity. I don't even know if I knew you. I probably did. Oh, that kept me up for days.
He calls you a wimp.
That's for sure.
I just watched Sense and Sensibility the other day.
Oh, I love that. My daughter, not his, but yes, our daughter had to watch Pride and Prejudice for a health assignment because now that we're digital learning. So I watched it with her, Mr. Darcy. She hated it. But I love Mr. Darcy.
Does she think Mr. Darcy looked like a Muppet or something?
He looked like a squash from VeggieTales.
Oh, that's what she thought. Yeah. That she couldn't get over it. Are you talking about Sense and Sensibility? Doesn't it have Emma Thompson in it?
One of them.
That's
There's like 5 million different.
That's true. Seems like they remake it about every 2 years. Maybe you guys like to see what I'm drawing. That's kind of why they tuned in and I'm drawing off camera. It makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sense and Sensibility. Yeah, I was completely disappointed in about the first 1.5 seasons of Westworld was good. And season 3 is just like you watch it and that's time you're never going to get back.
So is it like still like a entertainment park expensive that people go to, or is it
now it's okay, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, some of them, the whole premise is now they're having this awareness and they want to escape.
Right, but they want to escape where?
To the real world.
Okay, but they're part of this amusement park for adults.
So now it's all out in this futuristic world and it was so dumb.
There you go, folks. There's your recommendation for Westworld.
Wait, they should have just ended at season 2. It's like
I thought it got canceled and then it came back.
it should have. And then I feel like I got through part of episode 5. I feel like, should I just watch the rest of it? And then Fly to the Raven, Lucky Luke, Dragon Hoops, Stevens. Need some. Yes, Emma Thompson, Hugh Grant, Alan Rickman, Kate Winslet, a young Kate Winslet, wasn't it? What have I watched lately? The Adjustment Bureau was pretty good. If you're like a Matt Damon. State of Play, I think, was a decent one with Russell Crowe. I don't know. Who's this for?
This is for Jaime Ramirez, who's watching right now.
There he is. Right there.
Yep. He's excited for the artist edition of Jim Lee's X-Men #1, which comes out in October. You know,
that's a long time.
What I'm waiting for is Steranko's Captain America, but Scott Dunbier keeps telling me that Steranko is like not getting he wanted to do all the design work and have final approval, and he's not getting it done. So, so he's not holding his breath. We'll be seeing that anytime soon. So,
this person wants a sketchbook.
Yep, I already addressed that. All right.
Man.
Let's take a look at this sucker. Oh,
Yeah.
Let's get there we go.
Da-da-da.
There it is. Wolverine smoking. We've broken all the rules.
Smoking hot.
Flight of the
When
Raven.
are taxes really due now?
July 15th.
Oh.
But I don't want to wait that long because then if
I
you
was wondering
get any
about
money,
that.
you'll never get any back. So I'm going to do it very quickly.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Before the end of this month, I will, because I want to get it out of the way.
Should we save some pain meds for that? So it's maybe painful.
No.
So how many of you guys have kids that are now learning online, i.e. you're homeschooling pretty much now?
Well, these guys are that old.
I don't know. I mean, we're super old, so. Because I'm trying to teach online. And it's not
This is
easy.
awesome, and I love it. Don't forget
Your
number
kids.
200. Oh, thank you for reminding me of
Very
that.
smart.
Oh, he wanted to jump ahead and get number 200. Although I do have it written down in my book. So, all right.
Get to.
Although I have to remember when I get to 200 not to do it again.
200 of what?
This.
So that's 750. Oh, because you just. Oh. I think I might
You
be
see
the
that?
dumbest person alive right now.
She's like, well, it's number 750. It's not 200. Yeesh.
Oh, that's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Master's degree in mathematics, and I can't figure out the numbers.
It's pretty sad, really. All right, there we are.
That's good, honey.
It's almost like I'm a professional. Look how straight my signature is. And that's not even without a ruled line. I mean, across the
I've got
bottom.
one son doing online classes. Ooh, on campus. Brave. Well, I get to teach Algebra 1 online, which it's not too bad. It's the AP Physics that's kicking my tush.
Okay, I'm closing this. And I'd say ladies and gentlemen, but I think I just have gentlemen here.
What am I?
Well, you're not part of the
I
audience.
don't
You're part of the
count.
show.
You guys hear that? I don't count. I see
You're
how it
part
is.
of the show. You're
I see
not
how
part
it
of the
is.
audience. Oh
I'm-
my gosh.
I see how it is. I'm leaving.
I'm turning the camera on right now. You better hide. Here it
Ew,
comes.
ew. Oh, I'm in my pajamas.
She's running. She's running. There we go. Wow, that's entirely too close for comfort.
See all your wrinkles.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
what?
oh, run.
Okay.
All right, I'm out. Have
Anyway.
a great day, everybody.
folks, that's it. That's all I got for today. I do have a sketch cover, but I'm not doing it today. I'm, 3 books, and that's all I got. But I do think that I will take this suggestion of Warren Montgomery and others and do a weekly show. And I'll see about getting the software so I can actually live stream in more than one place at a time. So you can't smell it because you don't have, this isn't in Smellorama, but I've got a roast going that we're going to turn into a French dip sandwiches, and it really smells good right now. It's kind of filtering up. I'm upstairs in our house. It's filtering up. So anyway, next time I guarantee you that I'll actually have the correct banner on there and it won't say AaronCon 2 on it. Well, I'm not going to guarantee anything because I thought I did it right this time, and apparently I didn't. But anyway, so again, if you want to get a sketchbook, if you haven't got one and you want to get one, they're $25. If you want one with a sketch in it, like I just did, they're $45. So you can email me about it, aaron@aaronlopresti.com. That's been scrolling through this whole thing. Go to my website, email me through there, or you can message me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter to get one and order one. And those turnaround time on those are usually very, very quick. So the only thing that's slowing me down these days is how many trips I actually go to the post office a week, which is generally just once. So anyway, feel free to contact me about any of that stuff, original art, prints, whatever. And be on the lookout for my next live feed, which will be probably in a week or maybe even less. Who knows? Maybe I'll live feed me doing that sketch cover. We'll see if I'm motivated enough to do it. So let me check the no pastrami. No. And a French dip. Who would use pastrami in a French dip? No, it's roast. Yes, everyone buy a sketchbook. I totally agree. Same bat times, same bat channel. I think so. Humphrey Bear, Harry. There's certain comments in here that they're disconnected to me, and I'm not sure what you're. Hey, look, it's Adam Hughes. Exactly. Nice ear hair. Oh yeah, I trimmed that. Oh well, that's what happens, man. When you get old, it grows everywhere but the top of your head. All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.